got a good one. Sweet. Golly. That's a way to start the day. Holy smokes. I gotta get this fish in and I gotta talk to y'all about it. Golly, that's a big one. He's gonna get hooks in my hand. He's got it right under the bottom of the jaw. Oh gosh, dang it, that's not how I like to land him. But I didn't want to lose him. Ooh, boys. That is a big one right there. Golly, how do I get him unhooked? I got some pliers right here. Hey guys, welcome back to Project E. Man, we're out here doing one of my most favorite things. I love getting in my kayak. There's something about getting right next to the water level of a fish and catching great big old fish like that. What fun, what fun. I love topwater fishing in the fall. I came here today thinking I was gonna throw a frog and the wind's blowing. It wasn't supposed to blow, but man, I love it. Fish get shallow and they will eat a topwater. Thank you, girl. That's the way to start the episode right there. I hadn't been out here 5 minutes. That's the beauty of getting in some of these smaller bodies of water with a kayak. You know, you can just fish unmolested fish. So that's hopefully the start of one to many. So let's get going. Golly, man, they kill that thing and just how shallow they get. Dadgummit, it's in my trolling motor. Oh, look at that one. It's another big one. Come here, baby. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. You know, the deal on those fish and why they're so shallow, you know, we're in September. There's just not a lot of oxygen in a body of water. It gets hot and stagnant. The best oxygen is always up shallow, like the top of the water column. Whether you're out in the middle of the lake or up shallow, it's the top of the water column. And that's on all bodies of water here, like in Oklahoma and Texas. So you cannot throw shallow enough. Like on Grand, I've caught them in water that's only 6-8 inches deep, but it's where the best oxygen is for this time of the year. I got to do that again and again. That was fun. Got it. Oh. Not a big one, but we got one. You always got to have a follow bait rigged up, but I just got me a little weightless worm rigged up. Caught that puppy right there. I'm getting quite a few bites on that Chapo right now, but I don't know if it's windy or why they're not committing to it. Like they're just slapping at it, and the ones I've caught have been on the bottom of the jaw, so they're coming up and turning. I'm not sure. I may need to change over to like a jaywalk or something that'll just hesitate just a little bit more. There's one. Golly. Man, you talk about shallow. Can't get over how shallow those fish are. I mean, it's right when it hit the water. Not very big, but it's a fish. Yeah. Sweet. Man, they're healthy. I just love bass fishing. And it does not get any better than in a kayak on a topwater. That puts a big smile on my face every time. Every time. I knew there'd be one on that point. I mean, it's not 8 inches of water up there. Gosh, what a strike. What a strike. Golly. Dadgummit. That's a good one. That is a good one. Yes, come here, fish. I switched over to a frog. I got up here in these lily pads and I couldn't run the Chapo through them. And he engulfed it. I saw that whole fish just come like, whoo. Man, that's a good one. Yes, sweet. And when I say shallow, guys, so my boat, that's the depth of my boat right here, and I'm throwing, you know, up closer to the bank. So it's shallow, shallow on a frog. One thing that I've learned, you know, through all the years of bass fishing, you know, when you're topwater fishing, I like a bait that makes a lot of noise. The only time I don't want a bait that makes a lot of noise, let's say like a silent topwater, is when the water is really, really clear, like 10-foot visibility. You know, the rest of the time, I want something that's gonna make a commotion. I want rattles in my topwater. I want a frog that's gonna make more commotion, you know, and that magnifies when it's windy like this. You know, the best bait for something like this is a topwater, but I need something now that's just gonna move more water, make more disturbance to where a bass can hear it, find it. Dingy water, you know, we got about this much visibility. It's not the place for a silent bait. You want something that's going to make commotion. That's why a buzzbait, a Chapo are so effective, that Jaywalker's effective. They're all different baits for different scenarios, wind, water clarity, depth, you know, all those things. So you got to pick the right bait for each scenario. And it's a bait that's going to be loud 9 times out of 10 when you're topwater fishing. Got that one. Gosh, what a cool stripe. Oh, that's shallow. That is so awesome. So awesome. Oh, I love it. Can't even see my frog. Oh, one-eyed fish. It is engulfed. I mean, look at that. You can't even see the thing. So awesome. Oh, skinny fish. Thanks, buddy. That's pretty cool in this kayak that I'm able to stand up and fish, you know. And another really cool thing, I couldn't fish today if it weren't for that trolling motor. You know, that thing spot locks, it can hold a course. You know, as windy as it is, if I was out here having to paddle or kick with my feet all day, man, I'd be one wore out dude. You know, with that thing having spot lock and being able to hold a course, I can fish on a windy day. You know, most of the time, people in kayaks, you don't want to come out here on a day like today. We got winds 15 miles an hour. It wouldn't be any fun if I didn't have that X5 motor guide right there. I can tell you that for sure. Gosh, that's a good one too. That's a good one. Oh man, that's a good one. Dadgum. Can't see that frog, man. I've switched over to that frog and they are eating it. Yes. Golly. Look how chunky that fish is. Thank you, fish. Oh, I want to kiss you all over. Thank you, thank you. Oh, there's nothing that excites me more. Topwater fishing, frog fishing, Chapo fishing. Woo! No active forward-facing sonar going on here. We're old school braid frogging. Man, he just kind of come up and slurped it. God, that might be a good one. Oh yeah, that's a big one. That is a real big one. I got one hook in his mouth. Golly, come here, baby. Come here, baby. I don't know if we're gonna get that one in or not, or I'm gonna get a hook in my finger. Open that mouth, open that mouth. Got it, yeah, yes. Yes, oh, the bait just come right out. How about that? Isn't that awesome? Look at that thing. Topwater fishing, sun's out. Don't put it down. Like this, that's one thing too, guys. They're just so shallow. There's no better bait than a topwater when you're fishing this time of year. I'm gonna let this fish go. Thank you, girl. Thank you, thank you. Another thing to keep in mind out of a kayak, you know, you've got to have stiffer rods than I would normally have in my bass boat. You know, the kayak's constantly moving. You know, when you set the hook, the boat comes to that fish. So, you know, you want to upsize your rods, and you got to have braid. You know, there's zero stretch with braid. I wouldn't land hardly, you know, the land percentage would be a lot less if I was using fluorocarbon or mono, especially. We don't use mono hardly anymore, just because of the added stretch. So upsize your rods a little stiffer rods, you know, because the boat's moving. You know, the bass boat's going to be more solid. You know, the boat comes to that fish when you set the hook or you're fighting it, so it doesn't always get those hooks buried. So upsize your rods and use braid also when you're out here in a kayak. That's a big one. Gosh, what a bite. What a bite. Come out of the water. Look at this tub. Look at this tub. Golly. Holy smokes. Look at this thing. Oh gosh, dang it. That's a big one too. Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, I had you for a split second. Come here. I'm gonna get a hook full of hands in a second. Woo-hoo! Yes, yes, yes. Oh guys, I don't want to quit, but I gotta go to the pecan farm and get to work. But look at that, would you? Topwater fishing in the fall, it doesn't get any better, guys. Just tie you on 2 or 3 for each condition. You know, today I've had different conditions in the few hours I've been out here. You know, I had to use a choppo in the rougher water, the frog over there in the lily pads, you know, now the jaywalker in the calmer water. All 3 of them work. It's just the best bait when fish are that shallow. Hey, real quick, let's do the power stop breakdown. You know, talking about topwaters, fall fishing, it's important your setup. You know, being in a kayak, you know, setting the hook, bigger fish. There's lots of things that you've got to think about. You know, I just see so many people that are new to fishing, they don't succeed because they're not set up right. So, you know, this week's power stop breakdown, you know, we want to just catch them like on a frog, but it's just been too windy. You know, we caught a bunch of fish on that Choppo 105. You know, I went with that bigger size in the wind because it's pretty stained water. I've got this on 50-pound braid. I've got it on a 7.2 medium action rod, a high-speed reel, Johnny Morris reel. But that Choppo right there, just a bone Choppo, is a great bait in the fall. You just cannot go wrong with that bait. You know, we've also caught some fish today, you know, on this frog right here. Got up in some lily pads, you know, right there around the corner, and caught some on a frog. You know, caught the first one on a walking frog. We changed it over to a popping frog just because of the wind. And again, 50-pound braid. This is a 7.2 medium heavy rod. You know, it's a pretty stiff rod, high speed reel. That's just that Berkeley, you know, new Swamp Lord popping frog. I like brown because, you know, a lot of these fish are feeding on bluegill. It looks a lot like a bluegill from the bottom side, but that was a really good setup. And you know, another bait that I throw a lot in the fall is just a jaywalker. You know, this is gonna be in an area where it gets calmer. You know, when we go on down through here, you know, it's gonna be some little calm stretches. I expect to catch some fish on a jaywalker. 50-pound braid, 6.9 medium action rod, high speed, again, bone. You know, I choose bone because I've got dingy water. You know, you can't see 18, 20 inches, something like that. You know, go with a more transparent color if you got clearer water, you know, or calmer conditions. But, you know, I feel like bone is just my go-to. If I'm ever in doubt, you can't go wrong. So, all right, let's get back after it. Let's catch another fish. Golly, golly, what a strike. Oh my goodness. Oh, golly, that fish was in zero water. I switched over to my jaywalker because it got so calm. Sweet, sweet, getting me wet. Man, that fish, like, it went out to deep water like a saltwater fish. I got him hooked a bunch of different ways. Sweet. Man, guys, I don't know what else to say, but shallow fishing, get you a kayak, get your boat out, throw your top waters, make the adjustments with your top waters according to your conditions. But it's a lot flatter water right here, so that's why I was able to get away from that, you know, to do that. So, you know, the Chapo, the Frog, they're all got their, you know, perfect spot for late fall fishing, late summer, early fall. Does not get any better, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Stay tuned, come back, hit that like button. Thank you a bunch.